Hello, welcome back to LK Tuition. Today we're going to be looking at prime numbers. What is a prime number? What do they look like? And what are the first few prime numbers that you'll need to know for GCSE maths? Okay, let's get cracking. Prime numbers, what are they? So a prime number is a number that has exactly two factors. So if you remember, factors are numbers that can times together to make another number. So a prime number only has two of those factors. And those numbers are always 1 and the number itself. So we've got some examples of prime numbers here. We've got 2, 3, 5, 7 and 11. They are the first 5 prime numbers. So let's pick another number within these that isn't prime. So for instance, 6 would not be a prime number. Well, if we think about the factors of 6, we've got 1 times 6, so those are 2 factors. But then we've also got 2 times 3. So it's not prime because this number has 4 factors instead of 2. Now, a big mistake people make is they often think that 1 is a prime number, but it is not. So 1 is not a prime number because it's only got one factor, which is 1. Yeah, so if you think about the number 1, the only way you can get that is 1 times 1, but that's just the same factor repeated. So it's not prime because it's not got 2 factors. Okay, a little way of seeing how you can come up with factors is to look at a number grid. So we've just got a 100 number grid here, and shaded in grey are all the prime numbers. Now I'm just going to play a little bit with this just to show you how these can come about. So first of all, we'll just think of 1 as kind of a weird number that's got one factor and we don't consider it as prime, so let's just kind of shade that in red like that. Then what we do is we're going to square this green because that's a prime number, we like that. Now anything in the 2 times table is not going to be prime because that number is going to have 1 as a factor, itself as a factor, but if it's in the 2 times table then 2 will be a factor as well. So if I'm looking at prime numbers, once I've got 2, anything in the 2 times table is not going to be prime, so I can get rid of all these even numbers like this. And it's a way of sieving them out, and the fancy Greek name of this, I think it's called the sieve of Eratosthenes, but you don't need to remember that. So once you've sieved all them out, the next number you see that's not been crossed out is also prime, so now we've got 3. And then we could keep going, so everything in the 3 times table is also not going to be prime because it can be divided by 3. So for instance, 9, 15, 21, 27, 33. So all of these numbers, I'm just trying to do this quick so it's not tediously boring, but I'll do it so that it's all complete. So that's all the numbers from the 3 times table. And then you just keep going. So the next available number is 5, that's prime, and then all numbers in the 5 times table are going to be gone. So that's everything here, and these are already disappeared. And that's how you could keep going. So that's a way of finding prime numbers. So you're only going to get a prime number if it's got 2 factors, which are 1 and itself. Okay, let's do some example questions. So question 1, it says here is a list of numbers. We've got 3, 4, 7, 10, 15, 17 and 23, and we want to write down all the prime numbers from the list. So as always, pause the video, give it a go, or you can just watch me do it and learn that way. So the prime numbers, there's quite a few in here. Now I'm going to discount all the even numbers because they're going to be in the 2 times table. So let's get rid of those even numbers. And then the only number I can see that's got factors is 15 because you've got 1 times 15 but also 3 times 5. And it turns out that everything else on this list is prime. So I want to write down all the prime numbers on the list. So that's going to be 3, 7, 17 and 23. Okay, question 2. So this is not part of the same question, so we're not looking at the list. They're just asking for what is the next prime number after 11. So if we're on 11, what's the number after 11? Well, after 11 is 12, but 12 is definitely not prime because you've got 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. So it's got a lot of factors. So 12 is no good. 13, well that is good. So 13, I can only do 1 times 13 and I can't divide it by anything else So the next prime number after 11 would be 13. Okay, number 3. What is the only even prime number? Well, we've had a little bit of a chat about that already, but it is going to be 2, because everything else is going to be in the 2 times table and not prime. And finally, number 4, why is 1 not a prime number? And this is because 1 only has 1 factor, whereas prime numbers need to have exactly 2. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. So just a quick recap then. A prime number is a number that has exactly 2 factors, and those factors are always 1 and itself. Thanks very much for listening. Please like and subscribe, all that kind of jazz. I'll be doing more GCSE maths videos very soon. See you later.